Well, hello, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in to, no, not thank you for tuning in. I'm not on the radio. Hey, everybody, it's your girl, Teresa Be Free, and I want to say thank you so very much for stopping by to hang out with me on my YouTube channel, Teresa Be Free. If this is your first time visiting, and for many of you it will be because this is a brand new channel for me that I am absolutely thrilled to have an opportunity to bring to you. But for those of you who this is the first time meeting me, I want to again say thank you for tuning in. And let me just take a moment to introduce myself to you before we move into the subject matter at hand. So, I am a reset life strategist. I'm a mindset disruptor. I'm a certified professional coach who has been absolutely blessed to have been able to build and create and do a lot of the various things that I've done over the years through the media industry, because I was in media for over 8 years, and was very successful at doing that in West Michigan. But now I'm functioning rather in a different season of my life, but I'm blessed to have gained transferable skills. Hence, I have finally made the decision to start my YouTube channel. So, my channel will be surrounding all things life, all things building business, and also we're going to have some fun in the kitchen because I love to cook, and I'm a plant-based eater who has been known to turn out some meat eaters into diving off into exploring plant-based eating. So, we're going to have fun. We're going to laugh. I'm going to challenge you a lot because part of my call is to disrupt mindsets and to disrupt patterns. Because the objective here on my channel is I want to engage you in a conversation. I want us to talk back to one another, and I want you to talk to me via the comments. But my intention is that through the vehicle and platform of the Teresa B world is that we all learn how to be the very best versions of us that we can possibly be. And the first step to doing that is we first have to be honest with where we are, right? We got to stop lying to ourselves and learn how to be honest with ourselves, and then make the adjustments, whatever that looks like, so that we can get on the path to becoming better versions of us that we can possibly be. So again, I want to say thank you so very much for coming to hang out with me and for checking out my channel. And today I'm going to be talking to you about starting over. But before I dive off into that, I want to ask you to do me a huge favor. There's 3 things that I want you to do. Number 1 is I want you to click that subscribe button right below my beautiful face. I want you to subscribe to my channel. Number 2, I want you to like my channel. Number 3 is I want you to share my channel with everybody that is in your circle of influence, because again, it is my intention to engage us in a conversation that matters. And I got a brand new channel, so I want you all to help us all go and grow. So listen, I want to talk for a few moments on today regarding starting over. We're at the end of 2021, and we've all, the last couple of years have just been quite challenging in this pandemic, and it's forced many of us to have to look at where we are, analyze where we are, pivot, and just bottom line, look at that man or woman that is in the mirror. I firmly believe that one of the things that the pandemic did force all of us to do, including myself, yours truly, is it forced us to look at that man or woman in the mirror, and we had to look at the good, the bad, and the ugly, because it put us in a position where we could not run from us anymore. And for many of you, you didn't realize that you were really trying to avoid some things that were going on in your life, because you were able to avoid them by staying busy. But as the world shut down, and then we were forced to shut down, you were forced to shut down and look at yourself. And for a lot of us, we didn't like what we saw, and some of us made conscious decisions to still not acknowledge where we were so that we could go and grow. So today I want to talk about starting over, and I want to share 5 things with you, 5 bullet points that will help you in the process of starting over. I'm not going to go too deep on this on today's episode, but as we begin to move forward and establish a relationship with one another, we are going to take a deep dive, because the bullet points that I share with you on today, these bullet points can be applied in various areas of your life. So we're talking today about starting over. And when it comes to starting over, it just simply means that you have to make a decision and do. And these are some things that I've learned over the years, and then just reapply them just recently as my life took a turn for the better. But I was forced to make some very hard decisions that ultimately were best for me. But in making that decision and those other decisions, I was forced to start over, and I had to learn how to embrace the process of me starting my life over. Turn it, it was time for me to go down a different path, one that was much more better for me. So, 5 things that I want to share with you in this episode with ToresaBeFree's World. And the first question that you have to ask yourself, and many of us ask ourselves in the starting over process, is, how do I do it? And a lot of us get stuck right there with how am I going to do it, instead of just making a decision and then just doing it. A lot of times in the how to do it, we get caught up in fear and the what ifs, because we're not sure how it's going to work out. But you just got to know that however it happens, it's going to work out. But you first have to make the decision and do it, and not be in a spirit of contemplation regarding how you're going to do it. So in the how you're going to do it, you have to assess where you are in the situation. And that's going to be key because when you assess where you are in the situation, that's going to be however you assess yourself in the situation, that will be the determining factor that pushes you to either move forward or pushes you back into staying complacent in your situation. Either you want to get out of it or either you don't. And if you really want to get out of it, you will figure out how you're going to make that happen. And if you really don't want to get out of this situation, what you're going to do is to continue making excuses as to why you're going to remain in the situation. So how do you do it? You first have to assess where you are in the situation. You got to take inventory. What's going on? What's going on that has put you in this position to say, I need to do something different, and how am I going to do it? You got to assess your situation. You got to take inventory. When you take inventory, or as you're taking inventory, you got to ask yourself, how have I been feeling through this process or through this experience? How does this experience make me feel? And why is it making me feel this way? Better yet, why am I allowing myself to feel this way in this situation? That's taking inventory, and that is assessing where you are in the situation. That's going to determine if you decide to move forward or if you choose to keep making excuses and stay in the situation that you find yourself currently in on today. Number 2, are you ready to do something different? Are you really ready to do something different about your situation? If you know beyond a shadow of a doubt, there's no question about it. There's no wavering back and forth. Either you're ready or you're not. And if you're ready to actually do something different and take the necessary steps to start over, then what that means, my friend, is that you have to release your hands from the reins of whatever that situation is, because you've been trying to control it for the longest, but you realize now that you no longer have control, and you got to be willing to let it go. Just let it go and free yourself from it by releasing your hands from the situation, because you're tired now. You realize this is not going anywhere, and I gotta do something different. I am ready to do something different about my situation. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let go of it. The third thing that you have to take into consideration as you contemplate starting over is you got to be okay with not knowing what's on the other side. That's another thing that happens to people when they get caught up in how do I do it. We live in a world right now where we feel like we got to know what's going to happen for me once I do A, B, C, and D. A lot of times you're not going to know, especially in the case where we're talking about life-changing situations. Excuse me. I'm not talking about going off into a business venture. That's another thing. But I'm talking about you're in a situation and you want and need and must start over. You have to be okay with not knowing what's on the other side. That's where the fear comes into play, because we feel like we got to know it all. No, you don't have to know it all. All you got to know is, I don't want to be in this situation anymore. I've assessed where I'm at in it. I've taken inventory. I am willing and I'm ready to let go. And even though I don't know what it all looks like on the other side, as I begin to take the steps to move myself forward, I'm going to go ahead and do it. I'm going to face my fear. I'm going to look fear dead in the eyeballs. Okay? And I'm going to remove the fear out of the way, and I'm just going to do it with question marks. All I know, when you get to this place, when you get to the place where you can, where you are okay with not knowing what's on with I'm getting all tongue tied because I'm getting excited. But when you get to a place where you can be okay with knowing what's with knowing. When you can get to a space and a place in your life where you can be okay with not knowing what's on the other side, you are all in. You are all in. And there's just a knowing deep down on the inside of you that's telling you, girl, you are going to be okay. Man, you are going to be okay. We don't know what it's going to look like, but all we know is that it's going to be okay. I'm going to be okay as I go through this starting over process. These are things that I had to tell myself as I was going through my most recent transition. And I'll share more with you all about that as we begin to establish our relationship together. Okay? But in order to start over, you got to be okay with not knowing what's going to be on the other side of you making a decision that's best for you, and then standing firm and standing tall in it confidently. You just got to know that you're going to be okay. All right. The fourth thing is, and I already covered this at the beginning, is you have to make a decision and do. Don't be afraid to lose so that you can win again. When you make the conscious decision to do whatever it is that you feel is necessary for you to do, so that you can start over and have a better life, whatever that looks like for you, 9 times out of 10, or 10 times out of 10, to be completely blunt about it, there is going to be something that you lose, or some things that you lose, and you just got to be okay with losing whatever that is, because once you get through whatever it is that you got to get through in your starting over process, you're going to be in a position where you, because you lost this stuff, you let go of all of this stuff, you're making room for the things that were destined for you to have, to be able to come and embrace you and receive you now. But you couldn't have none of that stuff because you was holding on to too much baggage that you didn't need. Now I know I'm talking good. I know what I'm saying is helping a whole lot of you. It's helping a whole lot of you. So when you make a decision and then you act upon that decision, you don't contemplate. You don't sit there and entertain, well, what if this and what if that? You don't have time for that. You've moved past that. You have finally moved past that space now where you said, okay, this is what I got to do, and this is how I'm going to go about doing it. And you do it. You're not afraid to lose stuff. You're not afraid to lose friends. You're not afraid to lose, things or money or whatever the case may be, because you know beyond a shadow of a doubt that you are going to be okay. Period. Lastly, the fifth thing, because I said there's 5 points that I wanted to share with you, is you have Listen, and I need you to get what I'm about to say to you deep down in the core of your being. You have all the power to change your circumstances. Let me say that again. You have all of the power to change your circumstance. When you make a decision to start over, you have now taken your power back. No longer does whatever relationship or whatever job or whatever friend have your power anymore. You've made a decision that I'm taking all of my power back, and you can't have it anymore. You cannot have me anymore. You cannot have my life anymore. However that is defined for you. But you have all the power to create the change that you need in your circumstances, right in the palms of your hands, right in here. You know why I know that? Because you knew this a long time ago. You knew this is what you were supposed to do a long time ago. But for whatever reasons, you sat on the seat of complacency, and you continue to make excuses for whatever it is that you were going through. You kept making excuses as to why you were going to remain in that place, right? But I'm so glad that you stopped by today to have a conversation with me about starting over, because now you know that you can do it and that you have everything within you to be able to create and establish the change that you need to see. Not wish anymore, not wish to see, but you have all the power to create the change that you need to have in your life. So listen, I'm super excited, that you came to hang out with me. And listen, I want to hear from you. Again, I'm engaging you all in conversations that matter. I'm not here to give you a whole lot of fluff. I'm not here to give you tips and tricks on how to become rich overnight. We're not over here flossing. We're over here dealing with real life. And life is sometimes up and life is sometimes down. But I want to give you some tools and some resources and some tips that can help you level up your mindset and get you out of that bottom dwelling place so that you can learn how to live your best life and be the very best version of you that you can possibly be. So I want to say thank you so much for coming to hang out with me today on the very first serious episode of ToresaBeFree's world. It's been absolutely amazing for me to be able to sit with you for a few minutes and I have this conversation with you. I hope that I've impacted. I hope that I have incited, and definitely it is my intention to give you something that has empowered you to be able to come out of that stagnant place and push you forward to be all that you can be. So until next time, I love you all. And remember, go subscribe right now. Subscribe to my channel. Like this video and share it. Okay? And then comment below. I want to hear from you. Let's talk. Okay? Love you guys. Bye.